In 2012, Bruce Dickinson made a high-stakes gamble that shocked the music industry. The Iron Maiden frontman invested his last $250,000, nearly his entire liquid net worth at the time, into a failing aircraft maintenance company in Wales. Industry experts called it career suicide. "He's flushing his money down the toilet," one aviation analyst told Bloomberg. His accountants begged him to reconsider, but Dickinson ignored them all. 10 years later, that same company was generating over $500,000 in monthly profit. And Dickinson, he was flying Iron Maiden around the world in a customized Boeing 747 while selling out stadiums on 6 continents. How did a rock star known for his operatic vocals and energetic performances become a serious businessman? What financial risks did he take along the way? This is the story of how Bruce Dickinson built a $100 million empire spanning music, aviation, beer, and more, often by breaking every rule in the business handbook. Bruce Dickinson joined Iron Maiden in 1981, replacing original vocalist Paul Di'Anno. The band was already successful, but with Dickinson's powerful voice, they reached new heights. Their first album together, The Number of the Beast, topped the UK charts and sold over 14 million copies worldwide. By the mid-1980s, Iron Maiden was headlining arenas globally. The numbers were staggering. Their 1984 to 1985 World Slavery Tour included 189 shows across 25 countries. The band was earning millions in album sales, concert revenue, and merchandise. Dickinson, as both vocalist and songwriter, commanded a significant portion of these earnings. But by the early 1990s, the music landscape was shifting dramatically. Grunge was taking over, and metal bands were struggling to maintain their audience. Iron Maiden's 1992 tour, supporting their Fear of the Dark album, showed concerning signs. Instead of playing 4-month North American legs as they had in the 1980s, they were down to just 6 weeks. Venues were shrinking too. The band that once filled Madison Square Garden was now playing smaller arenas. Album sales reflected this decline. While Fear of the Dark still sold a respectable 422,000 copies in the US, the live albums that followed saw diminishing returns. Live at Donington moved just 23,639 units in America. While the average successful metal album of the era might sell 200,000 to 300,000 copies, Iron Maiden consistently outperformed industry averages by 3 to 4 times with Dickinson as frontman. In 1993, Dickinson made a decision that shocked fans and the industry alike. He quit Iron Maiden at the height of their fame. The financial impact was immediate and severe. Iron Maiden's UK album sales plummeted from 12,460 units in 1993 to just 5,926 units in 1994. With their charismatic frontman gone, the band struggled to maintain its commercial position. For Dickinson, it was a massive financial gamble. He was walking away from guaranteed millions to pursue his own musical vision and what would eventually become a diverse array of business ventures. Bruce Dickinson's first solo album after leaving Iron Maiden, Balls to Picasso, sold a modest 65,317 copies in the US, a fraction of what he was accustomed to with his former band. His subsequent releases performed even worse, with 1996's Skunk Works moving just 20,361 units. While these weren't disastrous numbers for a solo artist, they represented a significant financial step down for a musician who had previously filled stadiums. Despite the reduced income, Dickinson was laying the groundwork for his future business empire. He invested in his passion for fencing, starting a company called Duelist that manufactured and sold fencing equipment. While not a massive commercial success, it gave him valuable experience in product development, manufacturing, and retail operations. More significantly, Dickinson was developing what would become his second career, aviation. He earned his commercial pilot's license during this period, a skill that would later prove invaluable. Flying became more than a hobby. It was an escape from the music industry and a potential future career path. "I wanted something completely different from music," Dickinson later explained. "When you're in the air, nothing else matters. It's just you, the aircraft, and following the proper procedures. There's no room for rock star ego." Income from his solo music career funded these new pursuits, though it was modest compared to his Iron Maiden days. His concerts moved from arenas to clubs, with crowds numbered in the hundreds rather than thousands. The financial reality was stark. Dickinson was trading immediate profits for long-term investments in his future. It wasn't all struggle, though. His 1997 album, Accident of Birth, sold a more respectable 45,921 copies in the US, while 1998's Chemical Wedding moved 41,363 units. Both were critically acclaimed and performed significantly better than Skunk Works. Dickinson was building a dedicated following for his solo work, even as his business interests expanded. This period of transition was costly in the short term, but would ultimately position Dickinson for his remarkable second act. He was developing the business acumen and diversified skill set that would later allow him to build multiple successful companies while still maintaining his music career. By 1999, both Dickinson and Iron Maiden were at crossroads. The band's commercial performance without their former frontman had been disappointing. Their 1995 album, The X Factor, with replacement vocalist Blaze Bayley, sold just 112,710 copies in the US, 1/4 of Fear of the Dark's sales. In the UK, the band's 1998 album sales had dropped to a mere 845 units. When rumors of Dickinson's return to Iron Maiden began circulating, the financial markets took notice. The band's fortunes reversed dramatically. Upon the official announcement, Iron Maiden's UK album sales jumped from 845 units to 29,053 units in 1999, a 3,400% increase. This remarkable turnaround demonstrated the commercial value Dickinson brought to the band. The reunited band's first album, 2000's Brave New World, sold 282,460 copies in the US. This was more than double what the band had achieved without him. Concert attendance surged as well. Venues that had been downsized during Dickinson's absence were upgraded back to arenas and stadiums. But this was not the same Bruce Dickinson who had left in 1993. He returned with new perspective, additional skills, and business experience. Most importantly, he negotiated terms that would allow him to pursue his outside interests while remaining Iron Maiden's frontman. "The band understood that I needed the freedom to do other things," Dickinson explained in a 2015 interview. "Iron Maiden became part of my portfolio rather than my entire life. That made me a better performer and gave me energy I could bring back to the band." The financial arrangement proved beneficial for everyone involved. Iron Maiden's resurgence in the early 2000s came at a critical time. While physical album sales were declining industry-wide due to digital downloads and piracy, touring revenue was becoming increasingly important. Dickinson's return reinvigorated the band's live draw, allowing them to thrive in this new landscape. Between 2000 and 2010, Iron Maiden released 3 studio albums and embarked on multiple world tours. Their business model evolved to emphasize international markets, particularly in South America, Eastern Europe, and Asia, where piracy was prevalent, but concert attendance remained strong. This period set the stage for Dickinson's dual career as both rock star and entrepreneur. The steady income and global platform provided by Iron Maiden gave him the financial security and connections to pursue increasingly ambitious business ventures. In 2012, Bruce Dickinson made what many considered the riskiest financial move of his career. He invested $250,000, reportedly much of his liquid assets at the time, to found Cardiff Aviation in Wales, the aircraft maintenance and repair company was based at the St. Athan Enterprise Zone, formerly an RAF maintenance base. The initial investment was just the beginning. Within a year, Cardiff Aviation secured a much larger funding round of approximately $7.7 million, including $2 million from Finance Wales, a Welsh government investment subsidiary, and $5.7 million from private investors, including additional funds from Dickinson himself and his business partner, Mario Fulgoni. The early years were financially brutal. Dickinson later described Cardiff Aviation as a money pit for a long time. The company faced significant challenges, including management issues that Dickinson attributed to his frequent absences while touring with Iron Maiden. "I'd come back from tour and discover something had gone sideways," he recalled in a 2022 interview. "We were hemorrhaging money because I wasn't there enough to prevent bad decisions." The financial pressure was intense. Initial projections suggested the company would achieve profitability within 3 years, but those targets weren't met. By 2016, industry observers were questioning the viability of the entire operation. Adding to the pressure, Dickinson was diagnosed with throat cancer in late 2014, forcing him to step back from both his music and business interests during treatment. The timing couldn't have been worse for his struggling aviation company. But Dickinson was determined to make Cardiff Aviation work. After receiving the all-clear from his cancer treatment in May 2015, he restructured the company's management and refocused its business strategy. The rebranded Cardiff, as it was renamed, narrowed its focus to aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul, MRO, and pilot training services. The turnaround began in 2019 but accelerated dramatically after the pandemic. In July 2022, Cardiff received a crucial $5 million investment from Boost & Co. to support its next growth phase. This funding helped create 100 new jobs and capitalize on the aviation sector's post-pandemic recovery. By 2024, Dickinson's persistence had paid off spectacularly. He reported that Cardiff was generating over $500,000 in net profit every month, with orders booked until the end of 2026. The company had evolved from financial liability to valuable asset, serving major carriers, aircraft leasing companies, and private clients. This remarkable turnaround validated Dickinson's vision and business acumen. What critics had dismissed as a rock star's vanity project had transformed into a serious enterprise employing hundreds of people and generating millions in annual profit. In late 2014, Dickinson received devastating news. He had been diagnosed with throat cancer. For a professional singer, this diagnosis wasn't just life-threatening, it was career-threatening. It also came at a pivotal time for both his music and business ventures. The financial implications were immediate and severe. Iron Maiden had just completed recording their album, The Book of Souls, but its release had to be delayed until September 2015. The supporting world tour, typically generating $50 to $70 million in revenue for a band of their size, had to be postponed a full year from 2015 to 2016. Industry experts estimate that rescheduling a tour of this magnitude costs millions in venue, rebooking fees, crew retainers, storage for stage production, and lost merchandise opportunities. Meanwhile, Dickinson's business interests faced their own challenges. Cardiff Aviation was still struggling to reach profitability, and his absence during cancer treatment created additional management difficulties. With the founder fighting for his life, investor confidence wavered. But Dickinson's approach to his cancer battle revealed much about his business philosophy. "I told the band that if the worst happened and I couldn't sing anymore, I'd help them find a replacement," he later said. "The show must go on. That's true in business as much as in music." Fortunately, by May 2015, Dickinson received the all-clear from his doctors. His recovery was remarkably swift, allowing The Book of Souls to be released in September 2015 as planned, though the tour remained scheduled for 2016 to ensure his complete recovery. When the tour finally launched in February 2016, it was Iron Maiden's most ambitious to date. The numbers were staggering: 117 shows across 36 countries and 6 continents, performing for over 2.5 million fans. Total revenue exceeded $91 million, with average attendances well over 10,000 per show. Madison Square Garden in New York saw 13,289 fans, generating $1.47 million in revenue. Allianz Parque in São Paulo filled with 39,583 people, bringing in $2.84 million. At Estadio Vélez Sarsfield in Buenos Aires, 32,629 fans created $1.56 million in revenue. Perhaps most impressively, Bruce himself piloted Ed Force One, a customized Boeing 747, for much of the tour, flying the band, crew, and 12 tons of equipment between continents. This dual role as both performer and pilot demonstrated his successful integration of his twin passions. The cancer battle, while personally challenging, ultimately strengthened both Dickinson's resolve and his diverse business portfolio. His recovery coincided with the turning point for Cardiff Aviation and set the stage for his most financially successful decade. While building his aviation business, Dickinson quietly launched another venture that would become a significant revenue stream: Trooper Beer. In 2013, he partnered with Robinson's Brewery to create a premium beer brand connected to Iron Maiden. What started as a potential one-off novelty product quickly grew into a global phenomenon. The initial sales targets were modest, but Trooper exceeded all expectations. Within just 5 months of launch, over 1 million pints had been exported. By March 2014, that number had jumped to 3.5 million pints. In July 2015, approximately 2 years after launch, sales had exceeded 10 million pints. The growth continued at an astonishing rate. By 2021, Trooper had sold over 30 million pints globally. The latest figures from 2023 show it has now surpassed 35 million pints worldwide and is exported to 68 countries. Remarkable achievement for what is essentially a band-branded product. The business model was cleverly structured. Rather than simply licensing the Iron Maiden name, Dickinson took an active role in the beer's creation and promotion. He worked directly with Robinson's head brewer to develop the flavor profile and regularly participated in marketing events. This hands-on approach lent authenticity to the product and differentiated it from other celebrity-endorsed alcohol brands. The distribution strategy was equally shrewd. Rather than remaining a niche product in rock venues, Trooper secured listings in major UK pub chains including Punch, Spirit, Coors, and Wetherspoons, plus a permanent listing with Heineken for free trade accounts across the UK. This mainstream distribution network dramatically expanded the potential market. International expansion followed a similar pattern of strategic partnerships. Collaborations with well-established local brewers helped Trooper navigate complex international alcohol regulations while maintaining quality control. They partnered with Brewdog in the US, creating Hellcat IPL, Nils Oskar in Sweden, Crew Republic in Germany, Bodebraun in Brazil, and Nomad in Australia. While specific revenue figures aren't publicly disclosed, the beer industry generally operates on wholesale margins of 29 to 30% and net margins of 1 to 5%. With 35 million pints sold and premium positioning, Trooper likely generates annual revenues in the millions of dollars. The beer's success led to expansion of the product line, with variations including Trooper IPA and limited editions like the 10th anniversary Trooper X Imperial Stout, 10% ABV. Each new product creates additional revenue opportunities while reinforcing the core brand. Trooper Beer represents a perfect synergy between Dickinson's music career and business acumen, leveraging Iron Maiden's global recognition to build a sustainable business that thrives even when the band isn't touring or releasing new music. While Trooper Beer established Dickinson as a serious entrepreneur, his next innovation would combine his two greatest passions, flying and performing, into a revolutionary approach to touring that would transform Iron Maiden's business model. In 2008, Bruce Dickinson unveiled one of his most innovative business decisions, combining his aviation expertise with Iron Maiden's touring needs by creating Ed Force One, a customized airliner piloted by Dickinson himself to transport the band, crew, and equipment on world tours. The financial calculations behind this move were complex but ultimately brilliant. A typical Boeing 757, used for earlier tours, costs approximately $15,000 to $20,000 per hour to operate. For the 2016 Book of Souls World Tour, Dickinson upgraded to a Boeing 747-400 leased from Air Atlanta Icelandic, with operating costs estimated at $25,000 per flying hour. While these figures might seem extravagant, the business case was sound. Traditional touring logistics for a band of Iron Maiden's size would normally involve multiple commercial flights for band and core crew, separate cargo planes for equipment, local crews hired in each region, and extensive downtime between geographical legs of the tour. Ed Force One consolidated these expenses and created significant efficiencies. The airplane's 13,450-kilometer range eliminated numerous refueling stops. The 747's capacity could transport 12 tons of equipment alongside personnel. The band could perform in multiple continents with minimal downtime, and the scheduling flexibility allowed access to markets traditional touring routes would skip. Beyond these operational benefits, Ed Force One provided incalculable marketing value. The distinctive aircraft, decorated with Iron Maiden's artwork and logos, generated media coverage estimated to be worth millions in equivalent advertising. Aviation magazines, mainstream news, and social media all amplified the band's tour with no additional promotional spending. The business innovation extended to merchandise and content opportunities. Ed Force One featured prominently on tour T-shirts and memorabilia. The band's documentary, Flight 666, showcased the unique touring approach, creating additional revenue streams through DVD sales and streaming rights. For Dickinson personally, Ed Force One represented the perfect integration of his dual careers. Each time he emerged from the cockpit to perform on stage, he reinforced his unique personal brand as both pilot and rock star. This distinction helped elevate his speaking career and other business ventures by demonstrating his authentic expertise in multiple fields. While exact figures aren't public, industry analysts estimate that Ed Force One, despite its high operating costs, likely reduced overall touring expenses by 15 to 20%, while simultaneously increasing revenue through improved scheduling efficiency and enhanced publicity. While balancing Iron Maiden tours, his aviation company and beer brand, Dickinson discovered another lucrative revenue stream: corporate speaking engagements. With his unique background spanning music, aviation, entrepreneurship, and cancer survival, he quickly became a sought-after keynote speaker. The economics of Dickinson's speaking career are impressive. His standard fee range is $41,000 to $85,000 per appearance. The lower end represents virtual engagements, while the higher end is for in-person speeches in the United States. International travel or extended engagements can push his fee even higher. This places him in an elite category of speakers. While the average professional speaker might earn $3,000 to $10,000 per event, Dickinson commands fees comparable to former government officials and Fortune 500 CEOs. For a single one-hour keynote, his fee rivals the annual salary of many mid-level professionals. His speaking topics leverage his diverse experience: creativity in business, innovation and technology, turning customers into fans, entrepreneurship, business startups, team building, and motivation and inspiration. The value proposition is clear. Clients aren't just paying for generic business advice, they're getting insights from someone who has succeeded across multiple industries. At one notable event, he managed to mesmerize around 5,000 customers who were attending a cybersecurity conference, a field completely unrelated to his expertise. High-profile engagements have included the TNW conference in Amsterdam, with 1,850 attendees, and the IBM Smarter Business Keynote in Sweden. His evening with styled spoken word tours can last upwards of 2 hours, demonstrating his ability to captivate audiences without music. For Dickinson, speaking engagements represent an efficient use of his time. A single appearance can generate as much income as multiple concert performances, without the physical toll of a high-energy stage show. This allows him to maximize earnings during periods when Iron Maiden isn't touring. The speaking circuit also provides valuable networking opportunities, connecting Dickinson with potential investors and partners for his various business ventures. Several business relationships that benefited Cardiff Aviation/Cardiff reportedly began at corporate events where he was speaking. Today, Bruce Dickinson stands as a rare example of someone who's achieved extraordinary success across multiple unrelated fields. His current net worth is estimated between $80 million and $130 million, a fortune built not just through music, but through a diverse portfolio of businesses and investments. The financial breakdown of his empire reveals a carefully balanced approach to risk and reward. Iron Maiden remains his primary income source, with global tours grossing in the tens of millions. Cardiff generates approximately $6 million in annual profit. Trooper Beer continues to expand internationally with over 35 million pints sold. Speaking engagements provide high-margin supplementary income. Book royalties, solo music, and other ventures round out his portfolio. What makes Dickinson's story remarkable isn't just the numbers, but how he's managed to pursue his passions without compromising commercial success. At 65, when many of his rock contemporaries are on nostalgia tours or retirement, Dickinson is simultaneously touring worldwide with Iron Maiden, running a profitable aviation maintenance company, expanding his beer brand globally, delivering corporate keynotes, and planning new ventures. His approach to business defies conventional wisdom. While most entrepreneurs focus on a single industry, Dickinson deliberately diversified across unrelated sectors. This strategy proved especially valuable during the pandemic when the music industry shut down but aviation maintenance and beer sales continued. "I never wanted all my eggs in one basket," Dickinson explained in a recent interview. The music industry is incredibly fickle. Having businesses outside of Iron Maiden means I'm never at the mercy of changing tastes or trends. Perhaps the most impressive aspect of Dickinson's career is how he's integrated his various interests rather than compartmentalizing them. Ed Force One turned his pilot skills into a marketing advantage for Iron Maiden. His cancer battle informed his business resilience. His beer leveraged the band's brand recognition. For aspiring entrepreneurs, Dickinson's journey offers a powerful lesson. Success doesn't require sacrificing passion for profit. His empire wasn't built by following traditional business plans or investor expectations, but by identifying opportunities at the intersection of his personal interests and market demands. As Iron Maiden continues touring and Dickinson's business ventures expand, his story remains a testament to the value of diversification, persistence, and pursuing authentic passions. In his own words, "Life's too short to do things you don't believe in. Whether it's music, aviation, or business, if you're not passionate about it, you're unlikely to be good at it."